Happy Sunday, everybody, or maybe it's still Saturday for you. You're going to love Sunday. It's getting off to a really beautiful start here. It's been raining all night, and I can just hear my garden loving it. Okay, so we're just getting ready for another, I'm obsessed with this one right now. We're just getting ready for, another one of these fabulous teacher conversations. And hey, Dee. Hey, girl, Linda. Look, who's the whole gang. Loving it. Let me just add Melissa. Is here as well. So good. How you all doing, ladies? What's your plans for the weekend? Hello, 7 p.m.
Hello. How's Sunday feeling? How's Sunday?
You're going to like it. You're really going to like it.
I am.
Yeah, I can totally recommend it. How are you doing?
I'm great. Doing very good.
Yay, folks. Welcome. Join me in welcoming Melissa, who's going to talk to us about her experience with going online. Dee is out for a walk as she watches us. What's the weather like over there in South Australia? Deirdre, give us an update. What's the weather like for you? And Melissa, what's going on over there?
It's like low 90s, humid but breezy. We've had a really, really nice, beautiful winter. But it's 90s in the wintertime, right? No, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm meant to live in warmer climes, I think. I have a pitta dosha, obviously. So I'm drawn to too much heat.
I'm Kapha, so I belong here. Yeah.
So tell us about you. Tell us about your business. For people who don't know you, where are you? Give us the lowdown.
Okay, so I am in like the Fort Lauderdale area in Florida, in the U.S. And I am a yogi. I am a dance teacher by trade. I grew up, I'm dancing my whole life, and I manage a dance department at a private school here in South Florida. So that's my full-time job. My part-time job and my love is doing yoga. So I kind of got introduced to that when I was maybe like 6 or 7 years ago in 2013, and loved it. It was so different, than going to, a gym. I actually went to a studio, so way different. I used to hate it. Now I loved it. And then I was like, well, I'm a teacher. I teach dance, so I think I would be great at it. So, and then it just went uphill from there, and I just have never stopped studying and learning and desiring. I'd love to own a studio one day. I don't own the studio that I help manage. I'm the assistant studio manager.
Cool.
So it's a studio that's been in South Florida for over 52 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, in the same location. So it's like, it's so like perfect. And it's been around that long. We're one of the oldest in South Florida, and through the years.
Like the Yoga Works in Larchmont. That's a long time for a yoga.
It is a long time, yeah. And I think it's probably either on its third or fourth owner in transitioning.
Sure.
But I did my studies there. I fell in love with it, and it's old school. So if you think of it, 52 years old, we're still, we're still collecting paper tickets for registration.
Oh, you mean that kind of old school? I thought you meant like, Swamiji comes in, but you mean like, business old school.
Yeah, I'm talking business old school. Even methodologies, everything, the pedagogy of it, it's just so rooted. And, we use PayPal.
Sorry, I have to just have to quickly, I'm sorry, interrupt you, because in Australia that has a different meaning, right? What? It might be appropriate, but rooted. I love how Americans say that in the context of yoga. Feel really rooted. In Australia, that means fucked.
Oh, okay. No, that is not what us Americans call that.
We know. But if you ever see an Australian at your studio, be like,
okay.
That's what it means.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. You learn something new every, wait, let me write that down. Hold on. Actually, I don't need to write that down. I think I can remember that. Okay.
But it does sound like your admin system may be a little rooted, if I may say so myself.
And that's where I come in. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, we've used PayPal for registration for like our trainings. We do a lot of trainings. We do a lot of yoga teacher training. We do that. And we take credit cards, obviously. But to get online was like, what? It was like, wait, we can't do that. How can we do that? And then it kind of snowballed into, yes, we are going to do that.
Wow.
And we are going to get everybody online, and most of our clients are in the senior age. So basically what I did was like, I started with recording some classes, thinking that was the best way to go. And then we were going to upload them. I created a YouTube channel. I was going to upload it. And then we were figuring out, well, we can either give it to people because we want to still kind of keep that community,
Sure.
And it was very time consuming, recording and editing. And I mean, I learned software. I learned how to do iMovie while doing this. So now I have another trade, right? Another feather in my cap. And so then we were like, no, let's try Zoom, because my school, we do still online learning for our students. And they're using Zoom, and my daughter and my son, are doing Zoom classes all the time. And it's like, they're doing it. Why can't we? So I looked into that. We started creating Zoom accounts, and we started training our teachers. So I created, like, I was so gung-ho. I was like, we're going to get the studio up and running. We're going to, make some money. We're going to do really good. We're going to give community. We're going to give yoga because that's what they want. Yeah. And so I created a whole, like a PowerPoint presentation training live on Zoom with all of our teachers. It's like about 17 or 18 teachers. And like, I'm the one that's like training everybody. And it was so mind blowing, going, oh my gosh, if this does not work, I'm screwed. I'm rooted, right? If it doesn't work, I'm rooted. So I was like, okay, easy, like I created it very yogic and very like, perfect. It was just, perfect the way it was supposed to be. And we got a lot of really great response that way. So we started offering free yoga, classes through Zoom. And I want to let people know that when you post it on your website or wherever, I mean, where it says free yoga classes, come join Yoga Center of Deerfield Beach, well, we got those bombers like every single time, those really? Zoom bombers. Yeah. Really? They were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know how to stop it.
Wow.
It was so crazy.
Give us an example, like what happened, like what sort of people showed up? Because I haven't really heard this much.
Yeah, it's like they scan the web, and they're kids, teenagers, young adults that have nothing else to do. They scan and they have Zoom, they log on, and because I wasn't doing waiting rooms, it was just come in, this was still me learning Zoom, and they would come in and use profanity and use, and some really interesting things. And so then we became like we were like, it was like that game. What's that game that, where you
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it was just like that. We were like, okay, we're ready. All right, let me go live. And then I'd wait. And all of a sudden it was like, there's one, delete. There's one, delete. I mean, it was like, it was so like, and then I said, well, let's change the word from free to complimentary.
Okay.
And as soon as I did that, they disappeared. It was amazing. So that was something I learned that we learned the hard way.
That's a great tip, folks. So that is a really good tip.
Yes. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced that.
Yeah, type into the comments, people, if you've had a weirdo, or I've had it on lives, but I've never had, well, not that I've noticed. Someone show.
It was hard. It was really hard. So we got rid of that, and and then I started with the waiting room. And so we offered like free classes for about 2 weeks just to kind of get people trained. And we did some trainings for our clients who, okay, they have a computer and okay, they have a phone or an iPad, but really not tech at all. So we did a lot of training with them. And which was great because now they're mostly all online with us. And, you know, you've got women and men in their, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, still online doing yoga with us. And it's just, you know, it means a lot to them. It means a lot to us. Once we started connecting with them, you know, and it just feels really good. It feels really
Amazing.
good. So now we're online.
Congratulations. You know, this is one of the really obvious through lines from talking to everybody is the more prepared you can be and the more you invest in your people to teach them what they need to do, whether it's other teachers or your students, the better the results, which sounds so obvious, and yet I think that might be a missing piece for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we're adding more classes all the time. So now we're getting more clever, you know, figuring things out. And I watched one of your interviews with someone else, and you guys were talking about like just make a decision. Don't be like this at this platform, that platform. You know, it was like so many platforms to look into, and I just made a decision, and we've done it. Can I mention who we're using?
Sure.
Like, okay, so we're not using like MindBody, which was probably my first go-to, but I kept looking, you know, like a little bit, and we were ended up with Fitly. So I don't know if Fitly is all over. I'm not sure, but they were super awesome to get us online. And then we started with, you know, the packages and the drop-in classes. And then we managed the schedule. We still have 17 classes online. Yeah. So,
and I need to just note, because obviously like 7 p.m. Fort Lauderdale is a very nice time for me to take with my Nana hours to take a yoga class. So I want to take some. Great, says Dee. I agree, Dee. Super great. Where do we find these classes so that we can book ourselves in?
Well, you can go to www.yogacenterdb.com. So that's Yoga Center DB, like dog boy, for Deerfield Beach. And then on there, you'll go to our schedule page, and you can find our class schedule and what our offerings are. Or you can follow us on Instagram, and it'll lead you to that as well.
What's your Insta? What's your studio Insta?
The studio Insta is at Yoga Center DB.
At Yoga Center DB. Okay. Dee, get on it. Let's take a class together.
Yeah.
Let's go to Florida, Deidre.
I know. Come to Florida. Yeah. So it's been really great, you know, and talking with our studio owner, Louise Goldberg, she's amazing. She's like my family. She has written a few books on creative relaxation and yoga for children with autism. And she just, because we have training, so we had to cancel quite a few of our trainings, but her training a couple weeks ago, you know, yoga for special needs, she decided, okay, well, now that we're versed on this, and let's do an online training. So she did a full weekend online training for yoga teachers and therapists and everything. And so now she's like, well, you know, I can continue that. You know? We want to continue that because she travels all over the world and teaches, like she's supposed to be in Madrid the first weekend in September, but that's been kind of canceled now. And I think she's going to do it online, and that's anybody all over the world can do it. So it's really beneficial. Yeah. I know, you know that. And thank you for all your training, you know, with your confident, you know, trainings. And it just really has opened my eyes, and even me coming out of my box, coming on live like this, like, this is not me at all.
Except it is, because you're doing it. And
I
you
know.
handled the fact that the
Thank
interviewer dropped a swear word, and you handled it with such grace and style. You're getting some hearts in the chat. I have a question for you. You said at the start of the interview that you have like a real job, which is managing a dance department of a private school.
Yes.
And you also said that you are I can't remember the word that you used, but also involved in the studio management.
Yeah,
Of,
assistant studio manager.
how? What? Like,
Okay,
that's a
so
lot of jobs.
yeah, like increases like. I find that when I am quiet and have nothing to do, then I feel like nothing. I think the busier I am, the more, forthright and into things. Like I like being busy, and during this pandemic, it's been,
Yeah, actually,
my
really. Yeah.
savior for sure.
Yes,
With the
I agree.
studio, I mean, and I have two
Yep.
kids, two teenager kids. Um, yeah, so it's challenging, but it's what I love. It's what I love to do, and I've got a lot of really great support.
Mm,
So that's what the community, the Kula, our Kula, right?
yeah, yeah,
That I think is what has helped a lot too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully one day I'll own the studio, and all this will
So
be like second nature, and just moving us right into the next level. So
I just do not share that dream of owning a studio. I say this
yeah,
all the time. I'm so grateful that there are people like you who do, because
who want to
otherwise
do it?
there would be nowhere for people like me to
Yeah,
go. But man, I am like, oh,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
some practice. That is some sadhana right there, having your own
yeah.
studio. Hey, Sue's just jumped on. It's nice to see everybody here. Does anybody have any questions for Melissa? Like, where can we find you? We all want to follow you. What's your Insta?
Okay, so my personal Insta is _ Melissa Derico. So MELISSADERRICO. So that's my personal, and I'm getting it up, making it
Awesome.
look way better than it used to. You can see where you scroll down, where like I think I started with your training. That's when you can see. I've been following you for quite some time, and I like sign up
Really?
for every free thing and every every paid training. I'm like you're too far, but this is good. This is good.
Well, I've got to get my ass back to Florida because there's some very cool yoga people there that I know now. Hey, Glennis
Yeah.
is here. Nice to see Glennis, who always has something interesting to show me on LinkedIn.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, she's a good yogi teacher on the LinkedIn platform for sure.
that would be cool to
Um,
know.
so tell me, so here's what I'm thinking about the takeaways from chatting with you. Um, Train your people so they know how to use the platform.
Yes.
Um, like you've taught yourself a bunch of stuff, so you just leant in and figured it out, failed
Yeah.
forward. I know
Yeah.
iMovie now. I know Fitly now.
Yeah.
I love that you
Yeah.
just figured it
Yeah.
out.
And figuring out making the mistakes along the way. I mean, I made a mistake today. I added a class on Fitly, and I wasn't able, it's like I was supposed to add it to where everybody can join. And it's like, no one can join. I said, so like learning along the way, making those mistakes and just apologizing and laughing at it, because it started in the beginning to get a little frustrating for me. Like, why can't I get this? Why can't,
Yep.
And trying to keep up with the Joneses, because I mean, I don't know how it is over there, but there's a yoga studio like every couple miles. Like it's
Yeah.
just everywhere. So it's like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And always like, and then I had to kind of let that go. And Louise and I like just focused on our people. And we trusted that once we went online, that they would be with us and take our classes. So that is a big thing, a big takeaway too, is trust. Trust in what you're doing that's right.
What are your numbers like? Are people? What's the uptake been like?
Yeah, it's really been awesome. I mean, our current studio holds crammed in maybe about 20 people comfortably.
Okay. Yep.
And some of our online classes are like 25 and plus. So we're like, wow, this is great, and it's just been really great. And it's also given an opportunity for people who can't go to other classes, especially the evening classes. I teach on Monday night, a yin at 6 p.m. my time with Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, and
Okay.
I do
Book for
distant
me.
Reiki.
I think that's 8 o'clock for Glennis as well. So that's doable for us in the morning. Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And Saturday morning I do, but I think that's when you guys are
Yeah, I'm
late at night. It's like after midnight. So, but where was I? I totally forgot. I'm so excited. Like, I can't even remember where I was.
Hey,
Yeah. No, our classes are getting big, and they're trying, new things. People that have never been to my class, are trying new classes and new ideas, new things, and we're getting new people too, which
I
is,
think there's something that's very important right now, and you touched on it, is now is a great time to fuck things up. Now is a great, like if you're going to fail at something, if you're going to make a
mhm.
snafu with a link or now, people are so forgiving right now because everybody's just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Like now is a really good time to try stuff, and don't worry if you get it wrong. Fix it, apologize. But like you said, like
yeah,
people are okay with snafus right now. We've all
yeah.
had a bit of a reality check about what's actually important.
Oh
So I
yeah,
think it's a really good time to be failing forward.
yeah, yeah. We're also in the middle of our lease at our location that was like over 52 years long, was up, is up at the end of this month. So the
Wow.
past like 2 months, we've been looking for places, negotiating, and then once we went on lockdown, we had to lock in a lease. So our new space, we have a new beautiful space, ready to go on May 1st. So we're actually moving
Oh,
stuff
wow.
social distanced somehow on
Yeah.
Monday to the new space. So it's an exciting, like, it's so weird how it's like a new step, a new life, a new approach. It's like, it's going to be nice for people to come into, wow, something new and familiar at the same time.
I got to say, I just love your energy on that front, because it would be very easy to slip into this is the worst thing ever. Hey Jody,
Mm-hmm.
this is the worst timing possible. This is the biggest risk, la la la. But what you're like, the energy that you have about this is an opportunity and a rebirth, and that your classes are bigger
Mm-hmm.
than ever. I
Yeah.
think thank you so much for modeling this for us. We need to
Mm-hmm.
be just all a dose of that type of glass half full is so healing for everybody who's going to be watching this video.
Oh, good.
Not to say that we're not respectful and sending love and metta to people who are in actual adversity, but some of
Yes.
this adversity is totally optional. Like,
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
you could be, that you could have flipped that totally, and people would
Mm-hmm.
have thought that you were very justified in, feeling like the universe was all coming at you. But so
Yeah.
thanks so much for
No, you're welcome. And
showing us that.
if any of your, your followers need help, just reach out to me, if you really feel like I can't get, my 90-year-old grandma online or something, Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So,
So
it's
good.
it's great to be able to do that. So I'd be more than
And
happy to help too.
thanks. And folks, Melissa has a PowerPoint deck of slides that you can teach people how to use Zoom with. It's only
Yes.
$29. She's got a link coming very soon.
50% off
Hey,
today.
use discount code Amy said so.
I do. I have a PowerPoint. If anybody wants it, I'd be more than happy to share what I did, and you can adapt it. And it's all about how to get on Zoom with Fitly, and you can use any program, but yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Thank
I
you.
always say I
I
don't.
didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I do this. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yoga is my addiction.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take. I got one more question for you before I let
Okay.
you go for your evening. You've told us, you've shared so much, and you've talked to us about all the things that you've just figured out and made happen, and everybody's benefiting as a result. How are you going to celebrate your success and recognize all that you've done? What are you doing to reward yourself, lovely? How are you marking this? Because as yoga business owners, I type into the chat, everybody, if this resonates for you, rather like we just go, oh, phew, I fixed that. More, keep going, keep going. We so rarely stop and say, huh, look what I did. I deserve a nice thing. I'm gonna buy me a thing or take a day off, or I'm gonna actually celebrate and recognize what I did. What are you gonna do?
Um, I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought
I
about
thought so.
that. I like
What
that
might it
idea.
be?
Thank
Mm.
you.
Robin says, "Yep, yeah,
Thank you.
totally."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the last 2 weeks too, I started an online training for yoga nidra. Um, so I'm doing that as well. Um, I don't
That
know. It
doesn't
just,
count as your reward, though.
I know. Well,
That's
it is.
professional development that you
I
enjoy,
know,
but that's
but I
not
usually
like a
don't.
reward. Is it in your
Yeah.
cashmere leisure
I
suit?
know. I
Not
don't
in
know.
90 something degrees. Yes,
I don't know.
celebrate, says Glennis. Yes, says Yoga Didi. Yes, we want to know.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think of something.
Yeah.
Now you've given me permission, so thank you.
And this is for everybody, me included. I had it the other day. I was talking about it. You know, when I hit 9,000, my coach had balloons and flowers delivered to her house
Oh,
because she hit 50,000 Instagram followers for herself.
wow.
And I thought, what? I never do that stuff for me. I never go, hey, nice work.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that more. So same for, like, let's all decide that, you know, seriously, if you've even done a fifth of what we're talking about here for everybody who's watching, of what Melissa's been describing, you need a reward, Melissa. You need to do something lovely for yourself to recognize that, damn, look what you did.
Yeah. I mean, nice massage once we're allowed.
Yes. Book it now.
I
Give
know,
yourself
right?
a gift certificate so that you don't forget later.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for sharing everything that you did with us. It was super inspiring, and it's nice to have a voice of somebody who from the studio management perspective.
Yeah.
That, you know, that you went and built all this stuff and a whole bunch of people use it, and 17 classes is a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot of, it's a lot of managing, but getting them to also start managing their own classes. You know, getting them, you know, it's a process, but it is rewarding when they're done with class and they're like, thank you, we needed that so bad. You know, so
totally.
that's what's lovely about it.
Tell everybody again where we can follow you on Insta and where we can buy your slide deck for how to teach people how to use Zoom.
All right, so my personal Instagram is _Melissa Derrico, MELISSADERRICO, and then the yoga center is at Yoga Center DB. Yeah, and so you can message me, and I'm here. And of course, if you're ever coming to South Florida, please, you know, let us know. I'd love to have you at the studio, and any of your followers as well. So make sure you come and check us out in our new space.
Yeah. So does that mean that the space that's been going for 52 years is not going to be a yoga studio anymore?
No, it was, the lease was, well, the building was bought out, so they had other plans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really end of an era.
It is. And it's the transition timing is so out of this universe. It's so like, wow, it's like really, you know, we stopped classes right when we had to, and we had like a month to find a spot. We didn't teach. Then once we found a spot, we signed that lease. We started online. We, you know, so it's really been a transition and a learning experience. So
No doubt. Amazing. All right, lovely. Have a beautiful evening over
Thank
there.
you.
It's nice tropical warmth. It's rainy or heavily autumnal outside here. Enjoy that.
All right.
Thanks
Well, enjoy
everybody
your Sunday.
for watching us. And
Thank you.
I'm just going to quickly do a very quick plug. The course we were talking about earlier is where you can see the transition line in Melissa's Insta. There's social media confidence for yoga teachers. Registrations are open now if you want to come join us for round 4. The link is in my bio. I know a bunch of you watching have already done it. Thanks, Melissa. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
So much. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.